Hey, Lester, it's Crystal. Thought I'd show you something here. I injured my arm once when I fell. I injured my arm once when I was getting something out of a vehicle, and the person thought I had gotten it out and started moving, and he wrenched my arm. And I've done both my arms, but my right one the worst. And then the third time I injured both my arms, I was lifting a box. And it sounded like, and I didn't go to the doctor any of these times. I just babied it until it started feeling better. And it sounded like a lion crunching into a piece of meat. I mean, it went, and it hurt. Doctors put me through therapy of pulling tension bands or lifting weights. That made it worse. I had what was called frozen shoulder syndrome. I couldn't lift my arm any further than this after 6 months of babying my arm. I couldn't pull on anything like this. If I slipped and went like that, it sent me to the floor. I couldn't reach up and pick up anything like this off of a store shelf. It sent me literally to the floor with just pain shooting from the shoulder, down the chest, down the arm. Worst pain you ever felt. Shoot in the back of my shoulder. Worst pain you ever felt. I stopped the therapy they were doing because they weren't listening to me. I kept on telling them, it's getting worse, it's getting worse, it's getting worse. They didn't listen to me. I started doing my own research and found something called frozen shoulder syndrome. I couldn't lift my arm any further than this. There would be no way I could do this. I couldn't bring my arm across in front of me any further than that. There was no way I could bring it behind me like this. I could only bring it about to my hip. That was it. Now you're saying, why is it I can do this now? Because I started a passive therapy. Now you've got Jamie to help you. I had only me. What I do is I take my good arm, lift my arm up, and start towards the front of me until it ached. Not until it hurt, until it ached. Hold it for 10 seconds. Release it for 10 seconds. Bring it up. Do it again. And every time I do it, I would get, every day, after so many days, I would get to where I could go further and further. Now you see where I'm at? The same thing with going up. I would grab it with this arm, and I would bring it up. Count to 10. Slowly. Do not drop like this. You will send yourself crying. Slowly bring it down and let the tension off. And leave it off for a few seconds. Bring it back up to the point of ache. Not hurt. Ache. And do that 10 times. Before you know it, you're going to be back up here. Then you have it to where you have somebody do it for you since you've got help. Me, I had to just grab onto something and let my body move and not my arm. But they need to bring it out this way from your body. And then the way I did it, I'd grab a hold of something like this and then move my body and do it back this way. And now I can do this. Now, once you get to that point, you're going to think, I'm all better. I can go out and lift 50-pound bags of feed. No, you can't. You can start. Make sure you do those exercises every morning and every night. Then you can start pulling on tension bands. You can start lifting up 2-pound weights. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lift this way, hold for 10, bring down for 10. You're going to want to lift this way, hold for 10, bring down for 10, and do it 10 times. And then you're going to want to lift this way, hold for 10, bring down for 10. And then you're going to want to do your lifting this way, hold for 10, bring down for 10. But it might take you a good 6 months to a year to get to where you can lift more than 2 pounds worth of weight. But take it slowly. If you try to heal it too fast, you're going to make the injury worse, and you will never completely heal. Take your time with it. You still got your other arm. You should be happy yours happened to your left side, which is not your dominant arm, hopefully. Mine happened to my dominant arm. And even to this day, if I hold anything that's of any heavy, a gallon of paint like this for too long, it'll leave my arm dead. So you got to be careful. Because if you don't, you'll never heal properly. So I hope that helps you and lets you see what you're going to go through. It's going to take you a long while. You will get to the point where you can do easy things. But it's going to take a long time before you can carry 50 or a 5-gallon bucket of feed in this arm. You're going to have to do it with this arm. You will get limited movement until you start doing the stretching exercises, and do not do them until after the swelling has gone down and you're able to, at the very least, move your arm up this way, move it up this way, and move it to the side without pain. Without pain at all. You can get that much movement normal. Now, it took me 6 months to get to that point. So I don't know how long it would take you. Everybody heals differently. But once you get to that point, that's when you start with the stretching exercise. Then when you get to the point of where I'm going like this, like that, and like that, that's when you start slowly with the weight, with the pulling, with the building of the muscle here. Slowly, very slowly. Don't rush it. If you try to rush it, you're going to mess up more. Do it slowly. All right? I hope this helps you. Hope this gives you the ability to do something that'll help get your arm back to normal. If the doctors put you on therapy and you feel it's making you worse, stop it. Just stop it. Because therapists and doctors do not know everything. In fact, my doctor didn't know anything about frozen shoulder syndrome until I got so fed up with the pain that I researched my symptoms and found it myself. My doctor couldn't explain to me what was going on. I had to research it myself to figure out what was going on. So, and in frozen shoulder syndrome, it will clearly tell you. It happens as you get older. It happens after injuries. And it doesn't need aggressive therapy. It needs passive therapy to stretch those muscles. Because basically what frozen shoulder syndrome is your muscles are like this going, and they don't want to move anywhere. So when you go this way, they're saying, no! You need to stretch your muscles so when you move this way, they say, hey, that's okay. No problem. I'll move that way. Go for it. But right now, and in the future, you might have them going, No, you can't go that way. No, don't pull that. You got to get your arm past that. You got to stretch the muscles and say, hey, it's okay to move this way. So I hope that helps.